Hi guys, so it's been a while since I've talked to you guys like this face to face, and I think it's about time. So right here we are in our new roastery. So if you could look at this space, it's like our storage room, and there's a bunch of stuff that maybe doesn't really interest you, but yeah, we've moved to a new space, and so I've been thinking about something which is more about trends in the coffee space, particularly in Malaysia and just Southeast Asia in general. And I have some points written down, and I'm going to talk to you about it. So, with the rise of coffee chains all around the world, even Malaysia, like Luckin Coffee, Mixue, Zeus Coffee, Genangan, all these coffee chains are pouring into Southeast Asia. And for you Canadian folks, even Tim Horton is coming into Malaysia. It's a very good thing. It's a very good thing for all of us who are in the coffee space, be it your specialty coffee, commodity coffee, doesn't matter, right? What I think it's good in general because it expands the market. It gives people the opportunity to taste more coffee. But in this video, or what I would like to talk about is basically why we at His Brew, we have to constantly remind ourselves, and I have to remind myself as a co-founder, is that we have to be aware of trends and that we don't chase trends just to get customers. And I know it sounds a bit snobbish, but we've been burned before, and so I wrote a couple points down, and just so that I don't steer off tangent, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about why we at His Brew we do not chase trends, and I don't think it's beneficial for a lot of coffee shop to chase trends. Now, first point is that with all this rise of coffee chains, and you have trends and drinks and signature drinks like butter coffee, coconut coffee, orange Americano. I know that's 10 years ago, but all these kind of trends, matcha coffee. It's not to say that we at His Brew we do not have these kind of drinks. Some of the drinks we have tried before, but we want to still focus on coffee. We feel that if we're going with these sort of trends, what would eventually happen is that, yes, you might be able to attract certain customers for a small amount of window or time. But once that trend fades, that customer that comes to your shop for those kind of coffee would also go along with the trend. Meaning, you will only get customers that are just chasing the hype and chasing the trend, and that's nothing wrong with it. But if you're building your business based on trend, it means that every month or every single week or whatever, you have to come out with new products, constantly innovating and constantly coming out with new ingredients. And maybe that's the philosophy of your background, right? If you look at Zeus Coffee, you look at Luckin Coffee, that's what they do. They release different kind of coffee offerings, different signature drinks all the time, because that's their business model. But you have to ask yourself, and we ask ourselves as a small business, and particularly as a roastery, are we chasing those trends? Or are we building something that is long lasting? Well, that leads me to my second point. Trend fades, but philosophy lasts for a long time. And our approach is very simple. We've always asked ourselves, if we present this kind of coffee, what do we want to, what do we want our customers to feel? Does the coffee speak for itself? Does this Colombian coffee that we roast and that we make it into espresso or filter, does the coffee speak for itself? Does it tell a story, an origin story? Or is it just a trend, right? And so at His Brew, we try to come up with drinks or come up with different origin and different coffees to allow the coffee to speak for itself, right? Ideally. And it's not to say we don't have signature drinks. We do have signature drinks, but it's all about the intention. What do we want our customers to feel? For example, now it's approaching December and we're coming out with our Christmas a signature drink. And so we want our customers to feel like Christmas, so it will have cinnamon, nutmeg, maybe some cranberry, those kind of thing, right? But we want to be aware also about not creating too many signature drinks until the story of the coffee itself is lost in translation. So trend fades, but philosophy lasts for a lifetime. Now the third point that I have is that our customers come to us for consistency and not for hype. A lot of our customers, after running this roastery for 5 years, a lot of our customers, and we're grateful for them, for coming back to us so consistently. Like, we're just overwhelmed. Just like this morning, we packed the orders and we realized that there are more and more people buying from our website directly instead of other places, and that just signals to us that that we have customers that truly appreciate what we're doing. And what we try to do is to provide consistency. So meaning, what do I mean by consistency? Meaning, if I'm saying it's a medium roast, and if I'm saying it tastes like a certain thing on the tasting notes, we try our best to provide that consistency every time. That way, our customers would be able to have the confidence to buy a coffee maybe that they've not tried before, but yet they understand our roasting philosophy, that is to try to present the coffee as best as possible. And it's not to say that we roast our coffee light. If you look at our catalog offerings, we seldom roast our coffee light. Not that we're against light too, it's just that we feel, at least at this point in our journey, that light roast is maybe not the best in terms of what we want to present. Maybe a light to medium or a medium roast, right? But then again, your light roast might be my medium roast might be your light roast. So tangent aside, is that we want to provide consistency to our customers. And so our customers come to us for consistency and not for hype. And the last thing is this: we are building a roastery and not a moment. So it's easy to say, right? Roastery, not a moment. What do I mean by this? It means that we are a coffee roaster first. What does it mean to be a coffee roaster? For us, it's about transparency. It's about bringing coffee that our customers enjoy. It's about roasting so that we preserve the natural flavor of the coffee, and so that we highlight the farmers or the producers that put in that hard work in the coffee that we purchase in green bean form. And it's also for our consumers to give them the consistency and the transparency that they're seeking for. So we're building a roastery and not a moment. Now, there are downsides to this. There are downsides to not chasing trend. It means on days like the weekdays, you have 1 to 2 customers in your roastery because you're not chasing trend, and so you're definitely not targeting the masses. By not targeting the masses, you're already limiting yourself to a small amount of customers, and you're just banking on these small amount to appreciate the coffee that you're driving for. And so there are days where our roastery and our first floor coffee experience bar would just be there wouldn't be too many people, maybe 2, maybe 5 people for that day. And we have to remind ourselves that we are a roastery, and we want to preserve the flavor notes of the coffee, and that just means we're not going to target the masses, and we're never going to have people who just come into the door, because first of all, we are already targeting a limited amount of people. Second of all, we're not in the city center where naturally more coffee specialty enthusiasts are. We're 45 minutes to an hour away from the city. And so that just means that the group that we're targeting naturally is just really small. But what it also means is like our bottom line. It definitely will not be like what other cafes would be. And we can do this because we are a roastery. Our backbone still allows us to do such a thing, right? If we're just an ordinary cafe, it would be really tough. It would be really tough to not chase the trend, yet stay true to our core, and and just provide good coffee consistently. I don't think it's easy. So I'm not saying that you do this, you're wrong, and you do this, you're right. I'm just saying what we're doing, right? Hence, as a roastery, we never really want to bring hot food. Have I thought about it? Yeah, sure. If I bring hot food in, definitely we'll get a lot more people. If I bring pancakes and bring more desserts, well, again, it's back to our core, back to who we are. And so at His Brew, if you've ever come by and you've ever tried our coffee, I want to thank you. I know it's you've made a journey. I know it's not easy. I know you spend your hard-earned dollar on a coffee that we serve, and I hope you enjoy it and appreciate all that we try and aim to strive to be. And so that's who we are. And so moving forward in the next year or so, we have to live with times where our experience bar is just going to be empty, and it's just a natural thing for us as coffee roasters. There are other things that we can improve on. I'm not just blaming just because we are a coffee roaster and we only serve coffee, that's why we don't have cost. No, I'm not saying that. Just saying that for those of you who are owning a cafe out there, always remind yourself to stay true to who you are. If you start a cafe because for the love of coffee, obviously try to make as much money as possible, right? Try to get your bottom line to be proper, right? At least profitable, and then you can think about who you truly want to be, right? We are at a point where we are okay in terms of our profitability, and so we get to say no to a lot of things, and it's easier to say no, right? We're in a luxury position and a privileged position, and I know for some of you out there, it's not too easy. It's not easy to not chase the trend, not easy to not have strawberry matcha on your coffee place, in your coffee place, right? But at the end of the day, it's more you want to be consistent. You want to create a roastery, not a moment and not a hype. So you want it to be consistently good quality. And so just to name a few names out there that I really admire is like the Roastings in Damansara. They stay true to who they are, and I don't really know the owner that much, but I really admire them. Again, Han from Bad Artist too. Just coffee, no matcha, nothing of this sort, and looks like he's doing okay, right? Or doing well. So for those of you who are coffee roastery and anything like this, and you're aspired roastery, always come back to the center and come back to why you started this whole thing. And so enough of my rant, and I appreciate you watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.